So I just got back from the gym. The car needs an oil change. It needs a new fuel filter. I need to strip out the rest of the interior. So what I'm going to do today is install a wing. Yeah, a wing. Okay, so it's much easier to go ahead and attach the mounting hardware to the wing. So you put your washers on in here. Okay, this is just a closer up view of how much thicker the mounting bracket is than the little tiny wing bracket. So you have these washers to make up the difference. And then we'll attach the mounting bracket to the actual wing. Here's the template written out. You know, use at your own risk. Here's what I came up with. Nine 1/4 on center of the hole from factory as a reference point. And then for the first hole, I just measured up and I went roughly 9.5, and just right there at 9.5 inches. And then from there, I measured the wing screws, their distance apart, and got 5 1/4. Okay, and so this hole is going to be the first hole that I have square to the trunk, and then this hole I have square to that hole and to this one, and so that's 5 1/4 from here to here. So 9 1/4 on center, 9 1/4 on center, about 9.5, and then 5 1/4 apart. And then I also laid the spoiler or the wing up here to actually see how it sat. Looks good. Now, here's the thing about this particular wing. If you get this aluminum Amazon special, is that if you measure a slight difference than I did from screw or bolt to bolt, all that means is that you've got this tilted one way or the other differently. Just get them tight at a particular distance, measure it, tighten it down, get as close as you can. If you're off a little bit, it's probably not that big of a deal because these screws are loose until bolted down. Does that make sense? So there's actually quite a bit of room for error here to the tune of probably 1/4 of an inch either way. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, using a 7/32 size drill bit, I want to get really close to the size of those screws. I'm using a carbide drill bit. It will eat through like nobody's business. It also has a little starter bit right here at the top, and that helps it not to skate around. So always pop your trunk and check for underneath clearance to make sure you're not drilling into anything, and also that you have plenty of space, because a lot of times the trunks are 2 layers. They have like an understructure that could block your access, and you may have to drill through that as well, which would add complication for getting tools and things. So know where you're drilling first. Okay, I'm moving up to 1/4 of an inch. Not that big of a difference, but the screws ought to be able to clear the threads that they have. It's kind of catching on the threads because it's a little too tight. So hopefully this will be enough and we don't have to go any bigger. Okay, So I still have to install the little side strakes, whatever you call those things. Okay, I didn't break the back glass out. That's good. Hi, honey. What are you doing?
Whoa, what's that?
It's a camera.
Oh.
What you doing?
Well, I'm just in here.
Just in here?
Yeah.
Want to say hi to the camera?
Hi.
Daddy's little helper. So, this is cool. How, I don't know if all hole saws are like this, but it looks like you can remove the drill bit and just use the hole saw, which is exactly what I have to do. So if you have to get into the structure of the underside of your trunk, then you're gonna have to grab a hole saw and you're gonna have to cut out a bigger hole so you can fit your tool in there to put your nut on. So that's what we're gonna do now. So the hole saw thing didn't really work because the trunk support goes at an angle and it's just, you can't do a hole saw. So in my kit, unbeknownst to me, there's this nasty little dude. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Well, anyway, it basically looks like a crown of teeth. And this dude right here, I did a couple of these and took some tin snips and opened up a hole, and this is what it looks like. So I can take an angle grinder and I can make that, you know, obviously cleaner or a Dremel tool. And that's what I'll do. I'll clean that up because you certainly don't want to get cut. But basically I had to go in and kind of finagle a big hole so I could get my tool in there and tighten up that bolt. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So this is our 1/4 inch hole. This is what it looked like coming from the top down. And so this has to be widened out, but you can see the curvature of the trunk support having to be cut away, and you can't really do a hole saw there. And the hole saw wasn't cutting really well because it just didn't have any bite. It was wanting to skate a lot, as you can imagine. Figure you guys want to see this bad boy at work. Nothing like an Emerson knife. Best knives on the planet.
One eternity later.
All right, time for the big reveal. Pow!